Welcome to Rooted in Purpose with Donna Barbier, a podcast designed to help you grow beyond your stuck potential through faith, leadership, legacy, and growth. Because some of the most powerful growth in life happens underground. Now let's grow together. Hey friends, welcome back to Rooted in Purpose. I'm Donna Barbier, and I just want to start today by saying thank you. The amount of love and encouragement, messages, and support after launching this podcast has honestly meant more to me than I could even put into words. It's been such a faith step for me, and seeing so many people connect with the heart behind this message, it's been incredibly humbling. So thank you. Today, I want to talk about something that I believe affects every single area of our lives, your foundation. Because the truth is, life, it will shake you. There will be seasons that stretch you, seasons that humble you, seasons that force you to grow, seasons where things don't go according to your plan, and seasons where you honestly don't know what you're doing next. And in those moments, what you're built on matters. So today's episode is called Faith as Your Foundation, because I've learned something over the years. When life shakes you, your foundation determines whether you crumble or continue growing. You know, when Carl and I moved from Louisiana to Oklahoma, we were stepping into a completely different season of life. We left behind family whom we loved and adore so much. We left comfort. We left what we knew. And I remember there were moments where I questioned myself, moments where I wondered if I was capable of building something new, moments where I didn't feel qualified, moments where I felt overwhelmed trying to figure out even things like building my real estate career, maybe even leadership, figuring out what our next step in ministry was, building new relationships with people we're surrounded with who we do not know, and new responsibilities, all of it. And what's interesting is people often see growth after it happens, but they don't always see the roots being developed underneath the surface. They don't see the quiet prayers, the tears, the self-doubt, the rebuilding seasons, the moments you had to choose faith when fear felt louder. And I've had those moments more than once. I think one of the biggest struggles today is that people are trying to build lasting peace on temporary things. We build our confidence on success. We build our identity on titles. We build our worth on validation. We build our peace on circumstances. And we build our security on people. And the problem is, all of those things can shift. People change, jobs change, leadership changes, financial situations change, the opportunities before you change. Let's just face it, life itself changes. And if your identity is attached to unstable things, you'll constantly feel unstable emotionally. And that's why faith matters so much. And when I say faith, I'm not talking about pretending life is perfect. No, I'm not talking about denying hard seasons. And I'm not talking about fake positivity. Faith is stability during uncertainty. Faith says I might not understand everything right now, but I trust God is still working. That, my friends, is foundation. There have been seasons where I felt stretched beyond what I thought I could handle. Health seasons came up last year, and when I tell you, it affected every aspect of my life. Those moments where I questioned myself quietly while still trying to encourage everybody else around me, they're hard. And maybe somebody listening today understands that feeling. Maybe you're carrying responsibilities that nobody sees. Maybe you're trying to rebuild quietly, and maybe you're trying to grow while fighting discouragement internally. And I want you to hear me clearly. Just because growth feels slow does not mean growth is not happening. Roots grow underground first. And honestly, some of the deepest growth in my own life happened in seasons where nobody was clapping for me. Nobody saw the internal work. Nobody saw the stretching, and nobody saw the faith-building process. But guess who did? God did. So what does building a strong foundation actually look like? I want to give you a few practical things that have helped me. The first one, stay connected spiritually daily. Not occasionally, not only during hard seasons, but daily. And listen, this doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes my prayer time looks polished, and sometimes it looks emotional. Sometimes it looks like worship music in my car, and sometimes it looks like a quiet moment with God before my day starts. But here's what matters. It's consistency. Consistency matters more than perfection. Second, protect what you consume mentally and emotionally. Everything that you listen to affects you. Everything you constantly expose yourself to affects your mindset. Negativity drains growth. Comparison drains growth. Constant noise drains growth. Protect your peace enough to disconnect from the things that keep pulling you backward emotionally. And third, stay consistent even when you don't feel motivated. This one is huge because growth rarely happens through emotional highs alone. Growth happens through consistent obedience. And honestly, some days I feel incredibly inspired. Other days, I'm simply choosing discipline. But guess what? Both matter. Fourth, pay attention to who surrounds you. You need people who encourage growth, people who can speak into your life and speak life, people who challenge you in healthy ways, people who generally want to see you become who God created you to be. And sometimes growth requires distance from environments that constantly pull you back into old thinking. And finally, just trust the process of growth. We live in a world that wants instant everything. Why do you think the microwave was invented? Instant success, instant healing, instant answers. But to have something solid, roots take time. Strong foundations take time. And sometimes God develops you privately before he grows you publicly. And maybe today you feel stuck. Maybe you feel like you've been overlooked. Maybe you are emotionally exhausted. Maybe you feel like everybody else is growing except you. But friend, just because you cannot see growth does not mean roots are not being formed. Don't give up in the middle of the process. Some of the strongest trees survive storms because their roots went deep first. And maybe this season isn't punishment. Maybe this season is preparation. I hope today's episode encouraged you. And I hope it reminded you that your foundation matters, that your growth matters, that your quiet seasons matter, and that faith is not weakness, it's stability. Thank you so much for being here with me today. If this episode encouraged you, I would absolutely love for you to share it with someone who may need it. And don't forget to follow the podcast so you never miss an episode. And until next time, keep growing, keep trusting. And this is Donna Barbier saying, stay rooted in purpose. Thank you for spending this time with me today on Rooted in Purpose. If this episode encouraged you, share it with someone who may need the reminder that growth is still happening, even in the hidden seasons. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe so we can continue growing together every week. And until next time, keep growing through every season you're planted in.